started with this. So let me open up my PowerPoint. Let me see here. Let me share my screen. And then we're going to open up the PowerPoint and click the present button. And I'm going to lower everyone's face here. So let me turn off the closed captioning and we're ready to rock and roll here. So I want to thank everyone that participated last week. It was super lovely and lively and super fun and engagement having all this interaction last week in the chat box here. So if you guys don't mind, if you can mute yourselves and we'll get started today. So we're going to cover a lot of territory. Last week, we did a lot about the basics. We're going to go a little bit more advanced today. Instagram is one of those platforms where we have to be present. If you don't remember from last week, we have about 700 to 800 daily active users. And then we have people that are constantly looking at our stories. So we want to keep that intention in mind from last week. So let's talk about audiences. We're going to talk a little bit about AI just to spice things up. And we're going to dive into analytics because I think someone in here requested analytics. And guess what? We are going to definitely cover the analytics today. So if you are like curious, when's the best time to post? Who are my audiences? We're going to go into a deep dive today when it comes to analytics. So thank you again. And if you guys can, put it in the chat box where you're calling from and where you're here for and what your business is about. Okay, every time I meet with someone for a consultation, I always ask them, what are your goals? What is it that you do that no one else does? And we talked about that in detail, the only I. So we go into a deep dive. What do we do? Is it a type of farm? What type of products or services do we have in our farm or in our food business? What do we solve for our customers and clients? Now let's talk about personas. What is a persona? It is someone that you think about when you post on social media. This is your type of client. So when someone comes to your facility or buys your product, who are they? So I want you to think about this because this is going to be so important when it comes to content creation ideas. Let me tell you a personal story. Every time I write something or create anything on social media, I have three personas. These are three people I think about. I want you to get a pen and paper or maybe mentally write this down in your mind. Who are my three people that I cater to? I want you to name them. So I have three people that I think about. I think about the Leslies. These are the corporate people that need to brush up on their social media skills. Maybe they work for a big company or they work for a company and they're the marketing person. So I have to put stuff that's relevant to them because they need to brush up on their skills because they're getting paid to do that. The second type of person that I cater to is the Carolines. And these are people that maybe they work from home or they are stay-at-home mom, but they have a side hustle or they're trying to build a side hustle. So I come up with content that's going to help them grow their business. Finally, I love my Gen Xers. I have social media posts that cater to my Blairs. So this is the Gen Xer that's young enough to know about social media, but very blessed they actually had a childhood without having to use social media. So they kind of have a complexity problem that they're young enough to kind of know about it, but really don't understand how to really utilize it to their maximum potential. And they're a small business owner, so their goals are a little bit different from the Leslies and the Carolines. They actually have a business to run, so this is something super crucial. Let me look at the chat box here very quickly just to see. There it is, Emily. I love your little confession corner there in the chat. But this is the type of stuff that we want to think about. We want to name them. And then what are their interests? So we talked about the Leslie is the corporate person. The Caroline is the stay-at-home mom or the person that's starting a side hustle. What are they interested in learning? What is it that you can help solve for them? And then what is it that they would want you to provide for them? Are they stuck on something? So let me look at the chat here. We have people that have farms that produce certain items, or they're into foraging, or they're into education. Maybe it's a mom that's trying to go more holistic. So they need their products. Like in an hour from now, when I'm well done with this webinar, I supported a local chef that does these juices. So I'm going to be drinking a juice that has a lot of ginger and cayenne pepper, and that's going to be super spicy for someone on the call here that has a pepper farm. What problem do you solve? Do you provide peppers that are gonna help with digestion? And, like, right now, I have bad sinuses and bad allergies right now, so I need a pepper that's gonna get decongestant it to solve my problems. So, one other thing that's getting a lot of traction on Instagram when we think about audiences is, I think this is a really good thing that I learned from Persuasion is the art of reciprocation. So, last week we had someone on the call that did a collaboration post. So in an Instagram collaboration post is a single post that appears in two different accounts or feeds. So these are two users as the author. So I was attending a conference and I saw someone that had the Dubai chocolates. I took a video of him making the Dubai chocolates, and then he asked for the video, and then he posted it and he tagged me. But this is a collaboration tag. It's a different type of way of tagging someone. It's not where you just tag them and say they're in the video. No, you are co-partnering with each other, and this is going to get more traction. You can share the statistics, the stats. You can, including comments and likes and the numbers of shares. So let me show you what a collaboration post looks like. So one more thing before I go in there, it broadens your audiences. So because he did that with me, I was exposed to his audiences, and they were looking at my feed and getting to know me. We get more engagement because he is posting something and collaborating with me. So we get the double dip. I get to benefit from getting exposure to his audience, and he gets to get more exposure from my audience. And what I love about this is, I don't know about you, maybe you could put this in the chat box. This might be a confession corner. A lot of people have confession corners in the chat box. But do we all struggle to come up with content? Like, I don't know about you, but we're going to talk about this with AI, but sometimes you're not motivated. Maybe you're feeling down, or like today, maybe the allergies are just killing you and you need someone to help you. So what I love about collab posts is that the other person comes up with their content, and then you just happen to be benefiting by it by allowing them to do the collaboration post. It shows authenticity. The video that we did together was really cute because you see me reacting to the chocolate and the strawberries and the pistachio cream on top of that. And then finally, this helps build a community. So these collaboration posts, again, they tag you and collab with you, and then you both benefit from being exposed to both of the different audiences. So this is why I like collab post. If this is the first time you've heard about this, and let me look at the chat here very quickly. If this is the first time you've heard about this, let me see. Rebecca says it sometimes feels unauthentic or performative. It depends on who's doing it. I think if the other person is really fun and spicy, like I was showing in the example coming up, it was fun. But content for brainstorming is a big time consumer for me. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in the next couple of slides. But I wanted to show you how it's done. So this is Perennial Farms. She is super fun. She attended last year, and then I visited her farm and we saw the kuni pigs. And this is me looking very casual, but basically you say you want to post something new, you write the caption, and then where it says tag people, you could either tag the person or you invite collaborators. That person has to approve once you say you want to collaborate with them. So this is super critical when we're doing our posts, is writing the caption, allow tagging, invite collaborators. So I did the invite collaborators button, and let me see here. Yes, yeah, exactly, Bailey, exactly. So you invite a collaborator, and then you do that, and then it invites them and you tag them. This is the example I was talking about for Sam, who joined us last week with the Dubai chocolates in the mall in Johnson City. This is just a screenshot of that, but look at this. He tagged me, so it shows up his thing, and then my account. We had about 68. This is crazy. I don't normally, I'm gonna admit to this, I don't get 68 likes, but we got 5 comments and 12 people shared it to their social media. So they probably shared it to their stories. So this was a huge deal. Again, this was super fun. I was super excited about this. I happened to be at a conference and they had dessert, and I'm like, who is this? And this is the biggest trend that's going on right now in the world globally is this Dubai chocolate. So I was super excited, and you can see my enthusiasm and my authenticity and how airheaded I sounded when I recorded the video. So this is a super great way to benefit, and maybe this is something you might want to do today. There's a difference between collab posts and tagging. So Emily, I love this picture. I used it last year, but this is super cute. So she just was tagged in this picture from Rise Irwin. There's Emily here with her cute little hat. And I love this caption. Huge thanks to the ARCD family for their guidance and all this beautiful stuff here. But you see, a lot of people want to know what they can do to become an influencer. How do we build relationships with brands? So, for example, I've heard from other farmers that maybe I want them to buy me a pair of boots or buy me a certain product to help harvest or help raise the farm animals. So maybe if you current utilize this product or item at your farm, maybe you want to tag them in a post. And maybe, like I said, if they are in the picture, you want to tag them because they might reach out and be like, hey, would you like to be considered an influencer? Maybe you could have our boots or a certain item that you use in your pictures, and we'll probably send you a discount or maybe the actual product itself to post on a newsfeed post. So this is something to think about when you consider it. Try to see who you can tag in the picture. Again, I want to highlight, make sure they are in the picture themselves, and see if that helps bring some exposure, engagement, attraction to new audiences. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys think that that's something that you might want to do in the future, is like tag a specific product that you're using and seeing if maybe they can provide you a discount or an actual new version of that product? I don't know, maybe I would love to see in the chat box there what you think about that. So we didn't talk about messaging last time, but I want to make sure I do put this into huge detail. So Messenger, if you go on to the top right hand side of Instagram, this is a great way to check for customer questions. If people tag you in a story, and then remember last week we talked exclusively on engagement on the stories sticker. So we add the location, we add the hashtag, we have poll questions, we have a countdown sticker of when you might be at a certain location, or maybe you're at the farmer's market, or maybe you have people coming into your farm or food business. This is super critical. So right here on the top right hand side is the messenger. I want you to notice there's 4 different inboxes within Instagram. There's all primary, general, and requests. I want you right now, I'm gonna have a sip of water because I've been talking for like 5 minutes straight. I want you to go right now, open up your messenger. So again, top right hand side, open that up. And I want you to go to where it says request. I want you to go to request and then see if there's a thing that says hidden requests. I'm having a sip of water. That's why I wasn't talking. Now I sipped it too quickly. If you go to requests, these are people that are not following you. Maybe they've messaged you. Maybe they tagged you in a story. Maybe they've checked into your business and you haven't noticed this. This is super crucial. Looking at the request folder. So this is an example. I don't know if it was Emily or Ashley who does the marketing for these folks for the Appalachian R&D Council, but I want you to see this. So she promoted this this webinar, and because she tagged me in a story, this shows up on my messenger. So and if you missed it, like for example, it's like, oh, you can't do it anymore because the story's unavailable. But at the time I caught it right in time. So this is super important. Again, if people are responding to your poll questions, remember we talked about last week, do we add a pumpkin spice flavor or do we add a key lime pie flavor to our offerings here? That's where you get those people responding back to you, is in the direct messages or actually in the actual story itself. So check both places, because this is where people are doing the window shopping. We talked about last week, 68% of people are doing their window shopping for the holidays through stories. So stories are very crucial, and all that engagement is coming to your messenger. This is a neat trick. I don't know if you guys know about this. This is a very funny story. So if you go to Messenger and you're going back and forth, you can click on these buttons here. So when you click on these buttons, you can add a location, files, a GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, stickers, or create orders. This is super fun. So let me see here. If you guys, have you guys ever seen this button before? So what I've done in the past is I've created an audio message. I click on the little microphone looking thing, and I was talking to someone that I've met in a Discord group where and she's from the UK. So she didn't anticipate me recording a message, and she's so cute. She has this beautiful British accent, and then I reciprocated with my accent, which is not as cute. But I thought that was so much fun. So as opposed to just texting her a reply, it was super humanized and super fuzzy, the fact that I took the time to record an audio message instead. You can do video, you can do another thing called quick replies. Let me go back a slide. So you click on this button here, and then you can do a quick reply. So if someone's like, hey, where can I find you? Oh, here's my Amazon link, or here's my website link, or what are your hours of operations, or how can I learn more about what you do? You can quick reply these FAQs. So you can have these cookie cutter responses to frequently asked questions. So maybe you're not available to check your phone at that time. You can have these saved replies. So if someone were to message you, you can do that. So hold on, I knew that someone's going to say something in the chat box here. Can you please show how you got to the screen when you had up that showed the 4 icons? Okay, let me see. I wonder if this is if it's not the messenger, right? Where you go to messenger and then you click messenger and it takes you to 1, 2, 3, 4, all primary, general, and request. Or are you talking about here where you click on this button down here? So you click on the plus, it shows up as a plus. And then when you do the plus, it takes you to these options. And then when you click on it again, it takes it, hopefully it shows up for you. I hope it shows up for you here. So again, you go here, you're opening up a message that you currently have from someone else. So here I am opening up the Appalachian RC&D thing. I open it up and then I click on the little plus sign at the very bottom, and then it opens up these things. And then I can do a quick response, quick reply. Hopefully you got that. That's why I took screenshots after screenshots after screenshots of this. Hopefully it's visible. If not, Google it on your end, but now you know that there's a way to do these respond instantly to FAQ prompts. I love that there's an awkward silence because I'm talking to you. Okay, next step. Remember we talked about the MVPs last week. We talked about that about 50 to 60% of our business is from current customers, while 5 to about 20% is new people, and how we need to be top of mind. And how do we cultivate relationships with our MVPs? Who are those people that always are your hype girls like me, that I'm always hyping people up? I'm following you, I'm engaging with you. I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out, Jessica, if you have any questions, please let me know. Definitely if you can't find that. But who are your MVPs? Who are the people that you cater to that are always buying from you? They're always liking your posts, they're always engaging with you. Maybe you want to do a sneak peek of a new product or service or something you offer. So this is why I want to show you this. So I call this the close friends. You can't change the name to it, but this is only available in stories. So let's say you upload a story. So this is a picture that I posted on my news feed. And I was like, oh, I need to show an example of this, a new example. So you have a picture, you upload it from your camera, what have you, and then you decide, am I going to post it to my stories or am I going to post it to my close friends? So you can add people to the close friends. And this is your MVPs. These are your best customers. These are people that are obsessed with you. So when you post this post, it's only going to close friends. It's only going to the certain amount of people. And when you do that, it shows up as a green circle versus the hot pink one that you're used to seeing. So these folks are like, "Ooh, why is this circle green?" Because you're exclusively only posting it to them, not to your general public. It's not going out to the masses. So this is a very neat trick to, again, you wanna, I'm only, this only has happened to like two people that I know that have me in their little circle. And they go controversial, or maybe they're talking about a new thing that they're working on. So I know that I'm special when I see these green circles, and now you know how to do that for your audiences. So you go to your profile, and then there's a little list that says close friends, and I'll show you in the next couple of slides how to get to that. But you basically manually add that. Another thing that really comes out and pops on your feed is adding testimonials from the contents comments that people have done already on your post. So this is the actual article that came from Social Media Today. So I posted me making apple butter. Yeah, you can't envision that, but I literally was making apple butter at someone's farm. So what I'm doing here is that my friend Leslie commented on this post. And what I did is I swiped very slowly with my finger, and I can't show you right here because this is not a video, but you go to the person's comment and you move your finger slowly to the side, or you hold it down, and it says, do you want to pin the comment to the top, or do you want to add it to story? So the pin is pinning it to the top. So no matter what anyone comments, that person's comment is the first comment that shows up on your list of comments. They get notified that you pinned their comment to the top. And the next thing you see here is this little plus with like a semicircle there. So when you do that, so again, I swipe or I hold the button down, and then this is how it shows up. She commented, "I love you. Glad we got to hang out today. Hearts." So I was able to extract this comment and push it, and it goes to my stories. So you can imagine what, customers or clients have said something nice about you, but you want to show it off to your stories. So this is exactly how you do it. You touch the button down, and then you can hold the button down, and then it shows up to your stories that person's testimonial about you. If you need me to slow down and go back, I can definitely go back, but basically you just touch the person's comment or hold it down, and then it's going to create these little four options. So this is to add to story, this is to pin, and obviously to delete. And then that's how it shows up. So the next thing about stories, for those of you, I think there's a couple of you that didn't attend last week. Stories are very important. Let me reemphasize, it's about 700 to 800 million people are looking at stories every single day. I talked about the example of how I post stories every single day. They disappear in 24 hours, so people are glued in. They want to see what I'm up to. This is a very funny story. I didn't mention it last week. One of my friends works at a place, and they wanted to have a big open house, and they wanted to have a grand open house, and they wanted a whole bunch of people to show up. So she had a live mariachi band. So I was, you know what? I lived here for 13 and a half years, or 13 years at that point. I have never seen a mariachi band show up here in Northeast Tennessee. And you know what? I have nothing to lose. I was completely sober, and I started singing with the mariachi band. It's one of the most iconic stories of life. But what I want to emphasize here, if you guys missed last week's, I tagged the Johnson City, Tennessee location. You can't see it. It's like literally above my head where the ceiling is in that picture. I had 5 Johnson City viewers looking at this. So again, you want to tag your location, you want to utilize the stories. And if you miss this tutorial, I mentioned it in week 1 last week, but you'll get the recording. This is super important to add the stickers, add the location, because it's pushing your post to a radius of people that are in that city, town. So again, what can I do? They weren't expecting this, but they weren't expecting to see me singing with mariachi band. So I always try to spice it up in my stories. You never know what I'm going to come up with. So I want to emphasize this because you don't know, but these people are tuning in every day, daily, to see what you're up to. So this is why when you click on the number under the stories, it tells you how many people. 145 people saw that story of me singing with the mariachi band. And I want to just I want to tell you the truth. I'm not a good singer, so that was a very bad video of me. But you know, you just have to put yourself out there. So that's super important to mention. Okay, remember how we talked about how maybe you're not in the mood, you're tired, maybe you haven't had a sale or you haven't had customers come in, you're not feeling motivated, you're feeling a little disillusioned. Maybe the allergies are killing you with the pollen, like me right now. Or maybe you just have so many things going on in your mind. Maybe the news has you down. This is why we use AI. We use AI so when you're not feeling your best, it can help you and make you pretend you're feeling your best. So mentioned that I disclosed that I do blog posts. And in the last two blog posts, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to disclose that I'm using ChatGPT. And I literally did that yesterday. I'm like, you know what? It's a rainy day. My kids are having the first day of state testing. I just needed to tell the story. Just needed to be honest with you guys. So that's what I did. So I go to AI, I go to ChatGPT. There's Perplexity. I think it might be still valid, but I think if you're a Comcast or Xfinity customer, they have the pro version of Perplexity available for up to a year if you are a member or customer. I use that. I use ChatGPT, the paid version of ChatGPT. But this is the prompt. You can do whatever you want, but this is what I would say. I would say you are the owner of blank. And then if you have a website, here's my website so you can pull the tone and context of how I speak or whatever. So I usually say, you are a marketing consultant and small business owner that has a website called Beyond Engagement. Please provide the tone and context of my website. And I've had my business for 13 years. So it's a good 10 years of content before AI came into the picture. Please help me create a persuasive social media update to promote our products to the farmers market and include emojis and hashtags for the Johnson City area. And here are social media links to reference. So this is exactly what it said. It says, sure, here are 3 persuasive social media updates promoting the farm at the farmers market in Johnson City. So it came up with the Facebook post. It came up with an Instagram post. It came up with different things to promote. Like, this is why you want to utilize AI. Maybe you have to do a flyer. Maybe you have to create a presentation. Maybe you have to, promote that new event that you have at your business. Maybe you have a partnership. This is why you use AI, because it makes things sound super fancy, super fun. And you just have to have the right prompt. So what you want to do is you want to give it a role, you want to give it an action, and you want to give it context. So again, like I said earlier, you are a blank that needs to create social media posts. If you have a website, you put it in there. I want you to help me create persuasive social media updates to promote the Easter products that I have, or to promote the spring stuff, or to promote the upcoming summer season. And then you have your social media content working for you. Maybe you just need a brainstorm. This is going to help you come up with content, and it's super simple and easy to use. I don't know if you guys have used AI in your case. I don't know. Let me have a sip of water. Let me just look at the chat box here if anyone utilizes AI right now, and how do you use it? All right, I'm going to keep moving on here because I have a lot of territory to cover. Another example of Perennial Acres Homestead. I love this girl. She's amazing. So 2 things I want to emphasize here. You can, when you're struggling, you're like, you know what? I don't have time to think about stories. Just go back to old posts or current posts or today's post, and just go to the little paper plane icon and be like, that's it. I'm going to post this puppy. I'm going to add my location and call it a day. I think she probably utilized AI because she's a teacher, so she's very smart, so she writes really well. But she created this post. This is the picture itself, and then here is the context, or I mean the caption. So the caption here, as you can see here, beautiful educational piece. You could tell she was a teacher in her past life. And look at this call to action. See, I'm talking slow here. When was the last time you had a good call to action at the bottom of your post? Raise your hand, even though I turned off my camera. If you raise your hand, put it in the chat box here. When was the last time you had a good call to action? If you are multitasking, let me read what she says. I think if I say it out loud, it's going to stick with you. You want to learn, build, and grow with us? Follow Perennial Acres Homestead for more information. Save this post. Share with someone who's interested in becoming more self-sufficient. I love how I clapped there. What can you do? What can you say in your Instagram post that's going to cause people to do something? I'm done clapping. So this is something that I want you to start incorporating into your posts. I thought this was exceptional. One thing that gets a lot of traction on the feed is when people touch the share button, which is right here. It looks like a bookmark. That tells Instagram that you have something so special that someone's going to share it. And for anyone that has had a past life using Pinterest, it's kind of like imitating Pinterest here. And then again, the hashtags. She wants to be considered a thought leader when it comes to regenerative farms being self-sufficient. So this is going to attract more people that are in that industry, that are into the regenerative farm. So look at this. Johnson City TN, Jonesboro TN, grow your own food. She wants to be considered a thought leader. Maybe she wants these endorsements from these companies providing her products to use, or maybe she wants these products to be sent to her and then she can give them their feedback and then that makes her an influencer. We don't know what her goal is here, but I thought this was very well versed. What can you do to put more context and more words in your caption? Because people are searching for these things. They're utilizing the search button at the bottom of Instagram to get some problem solved, maybe some questions answered, or thought leadership, or maybe, like I said, educational pieces. So the more you write on Instagram, the more it's going to favor you. So I know if you're not a big writer, hence why I talked about the AI stuff. There you go. So in case you're not a good writer, you can always utilize AI to fill that caption there. And this is an example of the Serene Hill Homestead. She had this beautiful example of the hashtags right here. So this was a video, and it's a very engaging video. It's teaching me how to can. So this is a good example of canning. And again, how many people do you know that are obsessed with canning? This is a good example of a canning video with the right examples of hashtags. Analytics. This section is dedicated to Gene. I think he was interested in analytics, so we're going to go into a deep dive here. If I lose you, please let me know. We're going to go super duper slow. So there's two ways to check your insights. Up here, right here, it looks like it's called the sandwich icon. So it's 3 lines. So what I want you to know about this icon, you click here on the sandwich icon, it can take you to the closest friends. Remember when we were talking about that earlier about adding people to the closest friends? You have to physically add the people to get to the closest friends feature to put those stories that are private to your stories. So that's where you go to that feature. Or you can go to the professional dashboard, and that takes you to your analytics. One more thing I wanted to highlight here is the purple arrow. A lot of these stories that you have, you can archive them and save them into your highlights. So when I have speaking events, engagements, I always do that and I have it there so people can see that I've been doing this for a really long time. It shows you, like, I don't know how many weeks ago. If I looked at this button where it says upcoming events, it would show you things from like maybe 7 years ago before COVID. And then I collect all my blog posts and I say my thoughts, or any podcast appearances or testimonials. I have that right here. So I want to emphasize that. And by the way, look, there's Bailey right there in the first pinned icon. Again, you guys want to make sure that you pin your top 3 things, whether it's hours of operation, services and products that you have, or maybe an about me. This is the one that I'm wearing with my little pumpkin sweater. So this is a very important way to, again, humanize your brand, show that you're more than what you have, but, put some thought leadership and expertise behind your post. Okay, I literally took screenshots of this a few days ago. So as you can see here, when I looked at this and I created a screenshot of this several years ago, it said 2.7 thousand. And I was like, oh my, I've gone from 2.7 to 17,000. So, and this is just in a matter of few years. So how do you get to this? Again, you go to the little sandwich icon on the top, or you go to the professional dashboard. Several of you guys joined in late into this presentation. You will get the recording and the slides and the first, hopefully, presentation from last week. But again, you go 2 places right here. It takes you to a professional dashboard. You can see your views, your interactions, new followers, content that you have shared. Okay, I already have a question. Let me see. I believe I clicked that for the first time. I can't believe the analytics listed. Yeah, you're gonna see, like, it's so much better than Facebook. And it's funny because Facebook owns Instagram. So we go to views here, and then when you see views, two things I want to tell you. You can change it to different dates that you want tracked. But this is why I tell you to spice things up. Don't always just do reels. Spice it up and do different type of content, because some people only want to see reels, and then there's other people that just want to see pictures or carousel posts. So don't always do the same type of posts, because you want to reach different demographics. Instagram knows who likes reels. Instagram knows who likes only static pictures. So again, this is super slow. I'm going to talk slower. This is views. If I scroll down, I can see who are my followers and non-followers based off of my views, the type of posts that I do. And then the actual cities that people are tuning into me. What's my top content? So the video that I did 2 weeks ago when I met the guy that did the Dubai chocolate was at a speaking engagement. The little picture that I have that says be consistent, a picture of me with the book that I got sent to. But what I want you to think about is look at these cities: Johnson City, Kingsport, Bristol, Jonesboro, Tennessee. So maybe I need to start adding hashtags to these locations, because these are people that are tuning into my post. Now, here's the nugget. This is where all the cookies are hitting here, where all the money's at. Profile visits, 299. So 35% increase. Was it because of the hashtags? Was it because someone tagged me in a post and it reached their new audiences? Maybe I added my location sticker. That's probably what increased my profile visit. Maybe I told them, hey, go to my link in my bio so you can click on that post to get sent to this webinar or to this event that I'm going to. So that's super important to see that. Interactions. We went from views. Now the objective is interactions. So people that I've interacted with my content, 78% of them are followers versus non-followers. And then what they like to see is stories. That's how they're interacting with my stuff versus post. It's getting a little bit more than that, than reels. And it tells me here, what are the posts, the likes, the comments, the shares? What are the top posts based on likes? So it's the picture of me at this fancy restaurant in DC with the little evil eye in the background. It's the book holding. It's the new profile picture. It's me doing a speaking engagement with my little gator cup. Followers. This is super important. How many more followers did I get this time versus 30 days ago? And I'm going a little fast. Followers. Who are my followers? What are the cities? Again, Johnson City, Kingsport, Bristol. Age ranges. So they say, Valentina, I don't know if I want to spend time on Instagram. It's not for my audiences. I cater more to the baby boomers, or I cater more to the Gen Xers, or maybe my audience is the Gen Zers. My audience is this. Mine's going to vary to yours. So as you can see here, I have a lot of the millennials, elder millennials, and the Gen Xers. I have some of the and some baby boomers. This is important to know. This is going to change from me to you to Jean to Bailey to Kat to Jessica. This is all going to change. So you want to be mindful of what you post, and if it's going to resonate to that audience. You're going to change your pictures, your strategy. Remember, we talked about the personas. Maybe you realize, okay, here I am thinking that I need to hit up these folks, when I realize that I need to hit up the baby boomers. I need to cater my content. Maybe I need to talk about things that only baby boomers would understand. So this is super critical when we think about our followers. Again, it depends on your own analytics. When I look at the followers, I can see my audience is mostly women versus men. So maybe I'm going to add more pinks and purples and do rounded fonts and make my visuals more girly like, versus for the 28% that are men. What other thing that I want to mention is the time of the day that your followers are more active. And it goes by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the days of the week, and the time of the day when they're more active. So if I know that my people are more active at 6, maybe I'm going to post something between 3 and 6, because I know that's when people are most active, my followers. Maybe you want to post something an hour before the most active time is. So this is super crucial when it comes to your analytics. Content. Okay, we're going to get spicier. I'm going to go on my rant because I think you need to hear this. This is dedicated to someone in the room, and I'm not going to name names because I'm just saying this because it always applies to someone. This is applicable to someone in the room here today. If you don't post a picture of yourself, your competitor will. And guess what? Your competitor is going to get the business. I want to emphasize this is the objective on content. I can change it to the last 30 days. I can change it to the past 2 years. I don't know why I have the ability. Some people do not have the ability to do it for the past 2 years. I want to show you two buttons. The red one shows you the date, and then the purple one changes the objective. If you see here, the stuff that got the most traction in the past 30 days was me speaking in front of an audience while the videographer is recording the audience of me talking to them. The video of me with my hair freshly done, because of course, when my hair is freshly done, I'm going to definitely do a video and force myself to take a video, even though my face is not done. I did a video saying, be consistent. It's always pictures of me that get the traction, that get the engagement. So this is going to tell you to force you to think that you have to put yourself, you might not look great. You might be sweaty, covered in sunblock, gym clothes, but people want to see you. That's my little soapbox. Please don't hate me. I just want to mention that. The purple arrow, when you click on the purple arrow, you can determine the dates. So again, my thingy tells me I can go up to 2 years. So I can see what gets the traction. It's always a picture of me. It's never a picture of a motivational quote or a product or whatever. It's always me. And then the second thing I want to show is you can sort and filter by the highest, the metric, or the views. What that means is that you can go to the highest accounts reach, engage, followers, shares, or whoops, let me go back. So when you go to sort by highest number, and then you go to what metric do I want to see what gets the most traction, and it's the one that, okay, I want views. I want to see what got the most views in the past 30 days. Or maybe like I want to see what got the most engagement, or I want to see what got the most reach. Of course, it's me with the Dubai chocolate guy. Which one got the most follows? Who got started following me because I had a confession corner? Or what got the most shares? Maybe it's the pitch, it's the what could have gotten the most shares? Maybe it's the one that I'm talking with the videographer behind me. So this is why I want to show you these things, because there's so many things that you can identify. Okay, I need to put myself out there. I need to do videos of me, or I need to do a picture of me in a fancy background, or I need to do a picture of me with a certain person. This is what got the most traction. So I want to summarize. I want you to think and consider. I want to do my stories consistently. I want to have relevant hashtags. I want to make sure I'm using the right ones. I want you to think about the location. I want you to switch it up. I want you to vary it up, because now you know, okay, hey, what's getting the most traction is not utilizing the Johnson City, but maybe I need to start incorporating Kingsport, Bristol, and Jonesboro as the different cities, neighboring cities nearby. That's why I have that example of the location. And view your stats so it can be your guide. So I want to thank you again for joining me today. This is my QR code. If you want to know what the next thing is coming up, what webinar, what blog posts I have, any special promotions. I sometimes offer promotions to work with me at a discounted rate through this. So take a picture of that. And then you don't want to miss Ashley. I showed a picture of Ashley and this couple. There's a few more sessions that you guys definitely want to tune into for the next couple of weeks. And then if you are local, you can actually see me in real life. There's going to be free lunch provided. Normally it's chicken salad chick. So if you like chicken salad chick, you're in luck. You get to spend an hour with me and other ladies, and we're going to talk about achieving accountability. So it's going to be a great panel here in Johnson City. So this is the book that I was featured in, that I wrote the chapter on Instagram. And if you need to reach out to me, maybe you don't want to wait till Emily sends out the slides. This is the best way to reach out to me and to get to know me. Or if you had a question that maybe you couldn't ask right now, you always come up with questions when you're near the dishwasher or in the shower. So thank you so much for tuning in. So let me stop the share. Let me show my face here. And then there you go. Okay. Any questions, any thoughts, takeaways? I would love for you guys to tell me what was the biggest takeaway. I want to go around the room. Jean, since you have your face showing up there, What was your takeaway or action item? Or maybe he's going to put it in the chat. Add Mo. I see add Mo. I'm going to go around the room while he's typing his thing. Emily, Bailey, you're next. Who wants to go? Unmute yourself or tell us, or put it in the chat if you can't show your face.
Hey, Valentina, it's Bailey with Waffle Bitta. Good morning.
Good morning.
This was a fantastic class, and the biggest takeaway for me was clicking on the professional dashboard, because
Yes.
I can't understand how I've had 4,000 views over the last 30 days, but very few purchases on my website. So I need to figure that out. But I loved all the analytics that were behind that. I have never clicked on that.
There you go. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, Emily, takeaway or an action item. I love picking on you.
I think the main thing is I like the collaborations, because I think so often it feels like getting to social media is in your own world, but if you can come up with any more creative ideas, it's like you take it out of your world, and you may be able to even reach more people. So maybe you could just like take that marketing idea wherever you go. If you're going down to the farmers market, already think about who you could do something with, or if you're going out of town, on a trip, but who could you visit while you're there to do a post while you're there, just kind of integrate along the way.
I love double dipping. So if you ever go to a Mexican restaurant with me, you don't want to share salsa with me. But this is the reciprocation, because the thing is that you benefit from them, they benefit from you. You learn something new from them. You get exposed to new audiences, and then it's authentic, because I think most of the time that I've done in a collaboration post, it's been an authentic process. It's been very like with Andrea with the Kuni pigs. I was happy. I was the happiest person and I brought my kids with me. You don't see them in the picture, but I was the happiest person in life with the little piggies in my hand. So let's go back to Rebecca, Christina. Oh, Kat, you just told me in the chat there. If you don't mind putting in the chat, if you don't want to, if you can't show your video, Jill, Terry, I know you guys were coming in late, but what was an action item or a takeaway while we still have a few minutes left?
So I don't post a lot of pictures of myself. So I do have a few, but I sell flowers and I have bees as well and sell honey. But I feel like people want to see the flowers and what I'm doing with the bees more than they want to see me. So maybe I need to put some more pictures of myself on there.
Well, Jill, can I ask a question? Like, when they buy from you, where do they find you? They go to your property, or do they go to like the farmer's market and see you?
Farmers market, or they can just order, or, message me and I can deliver. Right now, I plan to have more on farm type workshops and things like that. But right now it's more outside of here.
So, and when I go to the farmer's market, I'm like, "Oh, that's Jill," because I see your face. So that's the thing. That's going to have to force you to do it, because if you guys specifically sell to farmers markets, or you go to these places where people can see you, you're like, that's her. And I'll be like, and then you'll be like, oh my God, get away from me, Valentina. Because I'm too much in people's faces. But yeah, that should be something that you can pin to the top of your page, so they know, okay, that's the lady I need to talk to, because the allergies are killing me. So that's the thing. I need to go see her, or need to get the flowers from her. So that's great that you mentioned that, Jill. Anyone else? We have like 2 more minutes left. I want to make sure I get to Terry, Christina, Jessica, Rebecca. Any top takeaways or action items? Okay, Terry's gonna add the geo onto my stories. We talked about that a lot last week, Terry. So make sure you get the recording from Emily. What about Jessica and Christina? I haven't had a chance to post. Okay, I see that there, Terry. Well, now you're ready to spice it up and post something. Okay, Jessica, Christina. Let's see here. Who else? And Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca, go.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Sorry, I've got my kids around me, so if it's a little loud,
Hey, I
just
have kids too. You know how I know how you rock and roll. I'm a mom too. So go ahead, tell me, Rebecca. Go.
Yeah, so the analytics was really interesting, and I think I need to start paying more attention to that on Instagram.
Yeah,
And I think probably what I'm gonna do this week, and maybe even today since it's so beautiful out, is go
you got to
like
do it. Mhm.
take a nice like family picture of all of us and do an introduction post.
That is so good. That's such a great idea because again, it humanizes you. It makes you more relatable. I don't post pictures of my kids, so when people actually see them in real life, they're like, "You have kids? You're married?" I'm like, "Yes." So when they see that,
Yeah.
that makes it super fuzzy, super relatable. It's just like all the mama bears bond with each other because they're like, "Oh, she has kids too." Like I think I saw your story last week with your kids, and I'm like, "That's so sweet," you know? So
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm glad because yeah, oh my goodness. I I'm glad because I worry like Ellie, oh my goodness. Like I guess I worry like I definitely don't want to post like too much with my kids. Like I don't want it,
mhm.
I don't want to be like a mommy farm influencer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but like I guess I'm like that's kind of reassuring to know that like I can actually post things about like being a family and like doing this all together because that's how we're doing it. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's my action item for the week is I'm gonna do an introduction post and just kind of let everyone know who we are, what our deal is, and then like
And
what
that's
they
good.
can
That's
expect from
good.
us.
Yeah, that's super good because you never know when you got a whole bunch of new followers. And, like there's a person in the Johnson City Farmers Market that has like 5 kids. And I'm like, you know what? I want to support her because she has 5 kids and her bread's really yummy. And I can't, I'm blanking out on the name right now, but as a mom, I want to support her. Or as a person that has a dog, I love supporting people that are dog moms. Like I think that's super crucial to highlight is putting yourself out there, and that kind of caters to that audience. You don't want to be the mommy farmer influencer, but I want to buy because I know, like, and trust you because you put yourself out there. I feel like I just did a mic
Oh,
drop moment.
And
So
I love that. No, that's great. Thank
and
you.
this
That
is
makes me feel a lot better.
And this is
yeah.
Emily, you can decide if you want to post your kids' faces or you can decide that you don't. And then there's all kinds of creative ways of just putting on a different kind of lens of
Hmm.
what are the little moments of farm life with kids. So maybe it's a row of muddy boots, or
Yes.
maybe it's their pants with the knees all worn out, or maybe
Hmm.
it's chicken poop on the bottom of your shoes. So like what are those mundane moments with the kids and little kids on the farm that may not necessarily be people's faces, but just the things that strike you as like, yeah, that captures my life today.
That's okay.
You
Like
can
I
also
love that.
do
On my personal Instagram yesterday, actually my oldest daughter and I were out working in the garden and she brought her little My Little Ponies out there and like they were playing in
Mm.
the mud. And I took a picture of it because
I'm
it was so
obsessed with
cute.
that image of the My Little Ponies
You're
And
gonna
and
so
the chicken
yeah.
poop.
Rebecca, you're gonna have to post that puppy and then tag us in the picture so then we can reshare that because I think that's very cute. Day, everyone. I'm so grateful. Thank you. All right. Bye.